Hey everyone, Tim Strifler here, and I have a super awesome tutorial for you today, how to create a slide-in promo bar on your Divi website. Now, this is a perfect tool to be able to promote Black Friday sales, holiday sales, summer sales, or anything else you want to promote. It doesn't even have to be a sale, but anytime you want to promote something new on the website, something that's happening, some sort of an event, something that's timely, that is time sensitive, then this is an awesome way to do it. Now, I'm going to show you two ways of achieving these promo bars. The first way is a completely free, no plugin solution. It uses code. It's not too scary. I'm going to give you all the code. I'm also going to show you how you can use our handy generator to generate the code for you, which is really, really cool. And then the second method, I'm going to show you how to create the slide-in promo bar using our plugin called Divi Bars. Now, Divi Bars is the only dedicated plugin for Divi to allow you to create full-featured slide-in promo bars, whether it's from the top of the screen, the bottom of the screen. You can have them come in after on page load or after a time delay. You can have it be on exit intent. You can have it be on click. There's so many options. So I'm going to show you how to do it in Divi Bars. But first, we're going to show you the completely free way, doesn't use any plugins, and it just uses the tutorial. So let me go ahead and get my screen share going. And so before we dive into the tutorial, I want to show you some examples. The slide-in promo bars are super, super popular. So here is on the Elegant Themes website promoting the Elegant Themes Divi Black Friday sale. Here is on another product company promoting a sale. This one has a countdown timer and a button. Now you'll notice sometimes out in the wild, we'll see some that can't be dismissed. Like this one in Elegant Themes, it's stuck up there, can't be dismissed. While other ones does have a dismiss button there, and then some will just scroll away. And so you can see this one scrolls away, but there's no way to dismiss it at the top. But when you scroll, it's gone. This one has it's a close button there, but it also goes away when you scroll. So these are product companies selling software. Stellar WP, again, dismiss button. Now some of them have the really tall where it takes up more screen real estate, right? Those are the first ones I've shown you. And then this one again doesn't have dismiss, but it goes away on scroll. And then so here's another really cool one, the button with the countdown timer. You'll notice they're going to gradually get a little bit smaller as we go through here. Here's another page builder. This one doesn't have a dismiss button, just a link, but I think it doesn't stick. And then some hosting companies. This is a little more slim. You can't close it, but it doesn't take up quite as much screen real estate. And then here is another hosting company, or WPMU Dev. They have hosting and plugins. Theirs is dismissible, and a little more slim. Another hosting company. Now, here's some non-WordPress companies selling physical products here. So this one's a little more slim. Also, it's dismissible with a close button there. This one's not dismissible, but it does go away on scroll. So different options. Now, the cool thing is that with Divi Bars, the plugin solution that I'm going to show you, you can set all these options. You can choose whether or not you have a dismiss button or not. You can design the height, the colors, all of that. With the free method, you're a little more limited. It's always going to have a dismiss button, and you can change the colors and everything, but you can't really adjust the height and the content, and you can't really add countdown timers. So there's two options. One is limited, but super easy and super free, while the Divi Bars gives you a lot more options, but it does cost money. However, it's very affordable. And then here's a underwear company, really slim there. And so, and then again, we'll get into Divi Bars, and I'll show that to you shortly. Now, the tutorial that we're going to be following for this video is on DiviLife.com. Now, if you were watching this on DiviLife on this blog post, well, then you don't need to go anywhere. You're already where you need to be. However, if you are watching this on YouTube, there'll be a link to this tutorial in the video description. And so you can click on that, and you're going to need it because the code and everything is on this tutorial here. And so this is the code right here. So to get the slide-in promo bar, which we have a preview of it, this is what it looks like here. all you have to do is copy that code and paste it into your website. I'm going to show you the different places to paste it. However, this code, it's just a big block of code. It's already been minified, so there's no line breaks or anything. So it's kind of hard to navigate, and you have to, it's just a little difficult to scroll. You can see there is a copy button there, copy to clipboard in the bottom right-hand corner, but it's a little bit tricky to customize because it is just a block of code, and you can do that though if you want. However, the much easier method is to use our free promo bar generator. And so what it is it's a form, and you fill out the form, and we have color pickers, so you can adjust the colors, and then it will send you the block of code with your customizations that you can drop into your website. And I'm going to show you how to do that shortly. So I'm going to go ahead and just fill this out. I'm going to say Black Friday sale, 50% off store wide. Instead of learn more, I'm going to say shop now. Okay. And then I'll just keep this going over to divilife.com, but I could make it, go to, store or whatever. Now let's go ahead and customize the background color. So I'm going to do like a nice dark background. I don't want it completely black. Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm going to copy that because I'm going to use that again. Hit done. And then the button text color will make that same black, so that matches. And then the button background color, I'm going to make it, I want it to really stand out. So I'm going to actually use this pink here. I really like this pink. So we'll make that button background color. The button background cover hover, I'm going to make it an even brighter pink. Make it really pop. Okay, and then the promo text color, we'll leave white, and then we'll leave that white as well. Okay. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in my name. So when you do this, when you put in your name and email, you are subscribed to the Divi Life email list. So want to be clear about that. When you use the promo bar generator, you are subscribed to the Divi Life email list, but you can unsubscribe at any point in time. So just to be clear about that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and we'll go ahead and put an email here and click on get the code. And so it's going to send me this code to my inbox. I'm not sharing my inbox here. Okay, it's already in my inbox. So it's pretty straight. I'm not going to change the screen share over to my inbox, but it sends you the block of code. You just copy the block of code. So it's pretty self-explanatory. And then I'm going to go ahead and add it to a site. So I already have this demo site set up. And so I'm going to go ahead and use this. This is using the Divi Web Design Agency child theme, which is a premium child theme from Divi Life. And so I'm going to go ahead and add it here. Now, you'll notice the tutorial actually shows you multiple places you can add it. So if you wanted to add it just to one page, like the home page, for example, you can open up a code module and just plop it in there anywhere on the page. And it's going to add that promo bar just to that page. But if you want to add it to all the pages of your site, which traditionally when you're promoting a big sale, you do. And so that's what we're going to do for this promo, or for this example. So I'm going to go ahead and go to Divi theme options, and we're going to go to the integration tab. Now, really, really important, you're going to want to paste it in the body section, right? Not in the head section. It won't work right if you put it in the head section. So I'm going to go ahead and paste it there. So I copy and pasted this straight from my email. And so again, it's a big block of code, but thanks to the promo bar generator, it has our customizations in it. And so now I'm going to go ahead and click save. Now we'll come to the front end of the site. I'm going to go ahead and refresh this. And boom, there is the promo bar generator. Now, if you're like, oh, you know what, I want to actually change this. Like for example, I probably should have made the button on Shop Now white so it stands out a little bit more. And so you can just go and use the generator again, do the same thing, make your changes. That way you don't have to fumble through the code. And so watch what happens. So this is using a theme builder header. So the Divi theme builder with a sticky header. And so you can see it still works great. And then watch when we close it, everything goes back to the way it was. Doesn't leave a big gap or anything. So very, very cool. Now, I also want to show you here. And I just made a boo-boo. So when you're testing this, test it in an incognito window, because you'll notice I'm refreshing this and it's not closing. And it's because there's a cookie on that close button. When you close it, it's going to put a cookie in the browser so it doesn't show it again. And so, which is what you want. You don't want to annoy your visitors. However, for testing purposes, it does make it a little bit tricky. And so ideally, you want to put that in a incognito window. And so I'm going to change the screen share so I can show you here in a second. But first, I'm going to show you how it'll work with the default Divi header as well. So I'm going to go to the theme builder, because this header here uses a theme builder header. But if you're just using the Divi, the built-in Divi header and nav and stuff, it's going to work too. So I'm just going to, I don't want to destroy what's there. So I'm going to create a new template here, make it just for the home page. And then I'll remove the header. And that way it's going to show, you'll see it shows the default header, right? It's uglier, hasn't been customized, but, and then I'm going to, it's because I closed it there, it's not going to show. So I need to change my screen sharing to an incognito window. So I guess it's a good thing that this happened so you can see, and it's a reminder for you. So let me just change the screen share here. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to go ahead and launch that in a private browsing window. And you can see it works even in using the default Divi header. So it's going to work the same as well. Close it, closes nicely just as it's supposed to. So very, very cool. Let's get back to the proper screen share. Okay, bear with me, trying to find it here. I have too many windows open. Okay, there we go. So that is how you create a promo bar for free using the built-in promo bar generator, completely free from Divi Live. This is, if you're watching this on YouTube, the link is in the description. If you're already on this page, you don't need to go anywhere. And so now I want to show you how to do this using Divi bars. So I'm gonna go ahead and just get this back to the way it was here. And so when you want to remove, you can do two things. You can shut off the header, the body code, and then save it, or you can just remove the code altogether. And you can use the promo bar generator as many times as you need to. And it's not going to, you're not going to get subscribed to the Divi Life email list 100 times. As long as you use the same email, you'll just stay subscribed the one time. And so Divi bars is the plugin version. And so we actually created this promo bar generator years ago, and it was a huge hit. And so then we decided we wanted to create a plugin version with a lot more features. We've updated the promo bar generator. It just got updated very, very recently. We've also updated Divi bars along the way too. But yeah, Divi bars is super powerful. lots of different options. You can display on click, you can display on a time delay, on exit intent, on scroll. You can set how long you want it to display. Time delay, scroll delay, exit intent, and then manual click triggers. So very, very cool, very, very powerful plugin. And it comes with a bunch of templates here, which is really cool. And so I'm going to show you how we can create one and make it really, really custom. So we're going to go a little bit crazy because I just want to show you the power of a promo bar that's built with Divi bars. So these are all the different templates that the plugin comes with. So I'm going to go back over to my example site here, and I already have Divi bars installed, so I'm just going to activate it. And we'll go ahead and click Add New Bar. We'll just call this Black Friday Sale, for example. We'll activate the Divi Builder. Build from scratch. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and import one of the templates as a starting point here. Let me find it here. So this is the Divi 3 Divi bar, as it's called, which is this top one here. So it's modeled after the promo bar that Elegant Themes used on their site for years, and I think they still use it when it's not a sales season. Okay, so it's loading that template here, and while that's loading here, we can show you some of the settings that are important. So for example, by default, it's going to display on all posts and pages, right? It's going to display site-wide. However, there's some customizations if you wanted to remove it so it doesn't load on certain pages, add exceptions. I'm not sure why this is. There we go. And so you can have it be on all pages except, for example, the About page or the Contact page, whatever. So you can add those exceptions there. All categories or only specific categories. Or if you have it on all categories, you can have it on all categories except and add a certain blog category. So there's some different settings here. And then you can choose the position. Top is the default. You can have it also display on the bottom if you want. And then push page down. So that's kind of what we showed you with the promo bar generator, where it pushes the entire content down. But if you don't want that, you can have that overlap. So it'll overlap the content, overlap the header, which ideally probably isn't the best in most situations, but maybe every once in a while you want to be able to force the user to close it, right? You really want them, you don't want them to have the opportunity to ignore that promo that you're promoting. And so you can have it overlap the content. We'll keep it on there. And then if you wanted it to scroll with the content, you can do not fix to top, right? So then it scrolls when the user scrolls, right? Makes it a little less intrusive. We'll leave it the default though. And then there's some other settings we're not going to get into. And then the close button customizations, you can choose how long you want that close button cookie to be. So for example, if you, after the user closes it, you don't want it to display again for 2 days, well, you can set 2 days. If you don't want it to display for 99 days, you can have it display. So you can have it be whatever you want there. And then if you wanted to hide the close button, you can just hide it. That way they can't close it at all. And then if you can customize the close button too, if you wanted to make it a little more unique, change the color, that sort of a thing. So we're going to not put on a cookie right now for testing purposes. And then one thing that you want to make sure you do is add, a lot of times we'll get users that are brand new to the plugin. They'll install it, they'll design it the way they want, they'll hit publish, but they'll forget to actually set a trigger. So we need to add a trigger. Time delay, we'll do 0 seconds, so it's going to load right when the page loads. And then you can have it disable on different devices if you want. Okay, so we can see here, this is exactly what we want. Boom, hit publish. Now I'm just going to show you this really quick, and then we'll actually start customizing it and making it really cool. And there it is. Very, very cool. So I'm going to go ahead and close that. Boom. And because we didn't put on the close button cookie, when I reload the page, it's going to reload the Divi bar, which for when you're testing and tweaking and stuff, that's what you want. So let's go ahead and go back here and let's make this super unique here. So I want to do something a little more unique, right? So for example, like when we look at Elegant Themes, they have a really cool, like kind of textured background. They have a countdown timer. That's some really cool stuff here. So I kind of want to do something similar, and we can do that really, really easily in Divi bars. So I'm going to add a background image. Now I already have one loaded up here. And just so you know, you can get, I got this from freepick.com. So you can download a background like this. I think I just put on like neon or something like that, neon background, and came across a few really cool ones, and I like this one. So this is going to be my background image. All right, so I want to make it stand out though. That text is a little bit hard to read. And one thing worth noting is when you're designing a Divi bar like this, we're putting the entire Divi builder into a slimmer section than like what would be a page. So sometimes it can be hard to open things up. So you want to make sure you come over to wireframe mode. Another thing worth noting, you might have noticed if you're watching this tutorial, months or maybe even a year or two later after I recorded it, well, Divi 5.0 has been released. And so all of this is going to look a little bit different. At this point of the recording, Divi 5.0 is still in the alpha phase. And so I wanted to stick with the public version Divi 4.0 rather than going to Divi 5.0 since it's not fully released yet. But if you are using Divi 5.0, everything's going to work the same way. It just might look a little bit different, the user interface. But everything should be in basically the same spot. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and come over to here, and we'll change the text. I already have some text prepared, so I'm just going to copy it in here. And then let's make it stand out a little bit more. So I'm going to make it bold. And then I'm going to add, that pink is kind of bright, so I'm going to add a text background here so it'll stand out a little bit from that neon. Okay, and then I'm going to also make it a little bit bigger too. Okay. And then go ahead and make this button bigger too. We'll say make this say shop the sale. We'll just leave that for now for demonstration purposes, but that's obviously where you would put the link. Okay, so let's make that text bigger. Font weight bold. Where is my, there we go. All right. Another cool thing is we have these classes built in to make the button wiggle. And so it's not going to show you here in the back end, but on the front end, when I show it to you, you'll see it makes it wiggle and just grab the user's attention a little bit more. Okay, so let's go ahead and make this button background. We'll go ahead and make it white so it stands out. We'll make the text, where's that text button? Text color black. I don't quite need it so bold, so let's make it a little less bold. We'll make it semi-bold. Okay, and it's off center a little bit here. On the front end, it should show up. Okay, and then let's change this to, I'm gonna make this a 3 by, and we'll go ahead and move this over to here. And let's go ahead and add a countdown timer here. So I'm not going to do a title. Let's get rid of that background there. But let's make this a little more bold, make it stand out. Numbers text, let's make it bold. Let's add that text shadow so we can make it a little more legible. And then let's change the label text, make it also bold. Add a text background, and we can go ahead and make it a little bit bigger. There we go. That looks really cool. Okay, let's go ahead and update that and then check out the front end and see how it looks. So this is the template that we started with, and then with just a few customizations using the Divi builder, we have a really funky looking countdown timer that's been a little bit smashed here. So let me figure out what's going on here. But you can see it already looks way better. Obviously, we need to spread that out a bit. Let me see here. I think we just need to adjust the width. Yeah, let's just adjust the width of the countdown timer. We'll make it 300 pixels wide. Okay. I hate that the countdown timer, it lets you jumble it up like that and smash the numbers together. Countdown timer is one of those modules in Divi that hasn't really been touched since Divi was released in 2013. But let's go ahead and try that now. There we go. Almost there. I'm going to go ahead and just tweak it again. Make it a little bit wider. Make that 350. Give that a try. There we go. Now that looks awesome. It's super vibrant. That background color stands out. You'll notice the attention grabber we have makes that button wiggle. All we had to do is add a CSS class and it makes it shake, which is cool. Very, very cool. Absolutely love that. Super clean. And obviously, user doesn't want it. They can go ahead and close that and the website will function normally. So that is it. As you can see, it is super easy to create promo bars in Divi using the free promo bar generator in the tutorial here on DiviLife.com, as well as using Divi bars and with all the gorgeous templates and stuff and using that as a starting point, we're able to achieve a really awesome promo bar in Divi that stands out. Now that text is still a little bit hard to read, so probably what I would do is I would add an overlay over the image to make it a little bit darker, not quite as bright. That way we can read that text, or we can increase that that text shadow and make that a little more, make the text pop a little bit more. But that is it. There's a link to Divi bars in the tutorial. There's a link to Divi bars in the video description. So if you want to go the plugin route with a lot more features, you can do that. And actually, before we go, I do want to show you really quick how we can do, rather than doing a time delay, we can do an exit intent trigger instead, which is really cool. And so you'll notice when I refresh the page, it's not going to load the promo bar because it's no longer set to a time delay. However, if my mouse goes to leave the page and maybe I'm going to type something else in, boom, the Divi bar triggers automatically as my mouse started to leave. I'm going to go ahead and just refresh that. I'm going to show you a little bit bigger. Make sure you can see that here. I'm scrolling around. I'm looking. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and click that back button here. Boom. Divi bar displays. So super awesome. That is the power of Divi bars and the exit intent trigger. Hopefully you found this tutorial helpful. If you did, if you wouldn't mind subscribing to this channel, that would be super, super helpful. So if you're watching over on the blog post, if you click on the exit full screen, if you're watching the video full screen, and just click on hover over the YouTube video and click the title, it'll take you over to YouTube. Or if you're already on YouTube, great. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We are planning out a bunch of really, really awesome tutorials just like this on Divi, on WordPress, on WooCommerce, and so many other things as well that you're going to find useful. So subscribe to the channel and then hit that bell icon. That's going to make sure that you get notified as soon as we publish the video on YouTube. So we're super, super excited to be planning out all of these new videos, new tutorials. And so can't wait to hear what you think. And feel free to leave a comment on the blog post or on the YouTube video. If you have any questions or whatever, if you have any video requests, you can add them there too. So thanks everyone for watching, and I will see you on the next tutorial. Take care. Bye-bye.